So today we're going to be talking about the basic info step of the race wizard. To get to the basic info step of the race wizard, you'll head to runsignup.com and you'll select the create a race button in the top right hand corner. You will want to be logged into a RunSignup account, so be sure you either are logged in or have created your account. And once you select create a race, you'll be brought to what we call the race wizard. These are 7 steps that essentially gets you the base and foundation of your race. Once you create your race and go through the wizard, you'll be brought to a dashboard that has more of an extensive list of features that you can set up. But these 7 steps will get you sort of the foundation of what you can do for your race. So the first step in the race wizard is what we call the basic info. You'll set up the race name. You will set up a race description. Typically, this is something that sort of explains what the race is about. The race description will be shown on your race page, so be sure to give as much information about this race as possible. A lot of races will put start time, end time, if there's any packet pickup information, or just kind of any pertinent information about the race. You want to add the address or the location of where the race is. You'll set up a race URL. So with every race on RunSignup, you will get your own race website and your own dedicated race URL. A good tip for this is never include the year of your race or any text such as like first annual, second annual. The reason for that is when you renew your race from one year to another, the URL is going to stay the same. So if you say that the URL is going to be the 2023 Kevin and Andrews Example Race Extravaganza, when we renew the race for 2024, the URL is still going to say 2023. So try to keep it as plain and straightforward without any years or kind of first annual text in there. You'll set up any contact information that you have. So the big one is the race contact email. This is how participants will be able to contact you if they have any questions about the race. So next you'll set up your events. Now the terminology that we use here at RunSignup is we have a race and we have events. So in our case, the race is the Kevin and Andrews Example Race Extravaganza. And the events are going to be, let's call it, we'll have a half marathon and we'll have a full marathon. So you can select the add events to add multiple events that you may have or may be offering. Make sure you select the type for the event and set the start and end date and time for that event. An end time is not required, but a start time is required, as that is going to be shown on your race page and allow participants to know what day and what time the race starts. No, I'm not starting the race at 7:07.
It's a half marathon. You got to start early.
Okay, that's fine. So once you have your events...
It's a full marathon.
So once you have your events set up, you'll select how you want the processing fees to be paid. So there are 3 options. You can have the registrant cover the processing fee, or you can have the processing fee be covered by you as the race, or you can split the processing fee 50-50 between you as a race director and the runners. And then you can set up donations if you want to take in donations. You can set an overall goal for your donation amount.
What are we looking for?
$5.
Oh, I was going to say 10.
A low bar. Again, all of these features can be edited and customized even more once you complete and go through the race wizard. As you're going through the race wizard for the first time, you can give us a little bit more information about your event, whether this is the first year that the race is going on, and if so, the estimated number of participants and estimated number of donations. Next, we have gender options. If you want to support binary, non-binary gender selections, this is where you can do this. You can allow, if you want to support non-binary selections, you can also allow for participants to select prefer not to say for their gender. And if you have a timer that you have already contracted out, you can enter in the timer information here. The RunSignup network has a ton of timers that are set up for timer accounts essentially in RunSignup. In this option here, this third-party setup, some races will have the race director may have an assistant or an intern set up the race on RunSignup. If that's the case, the intern or the assistant can enter in the race director's email address and make the race director the proper admin of the race. In this case, Andrew's my intern. And So in this case, Andrew's my intern, so he's adding me as another race director for this race. And under this setting here, this remove me as the race director when this person is set as a race director. By default, whoever is creating the race will always be set as a race director and admin on the back end side. So since Andrew's an intern, I don't want him to have admin access moving forward. So he'll go ahead and check that remove me as race director.
But then when Kevin's not looking, I'm going to uncheck it because I'm still owning this race.
It is what
Don't
it is.
tell him.
And then here you can read the contract, you can read the code of conduct, and then you can check the checkbox to agree to the contract. And the last thing at the very bottom here is before you select create your race and continue, you have the option to set the race as draft. With RunSignup, if you put a race in draft mode, it won't be visible to the public. It'll only be visible to any admins for that particular race. This is super useful if you're going through and still working on setting up your race, and maybe your race is 10 months from now and you're just still kind of working on the race. You can set the race as draft mode. You'll be able to preview the race website and see how everything looks, but the public won't be able to do this and they won't be able to register for the race. So in our case, we're going to set it as draft mode. We're going to select create race and continue. And now we've created our race and we're going to continue editing the race and editing the registrations, giveaways, and all that fun stuff.